Welcome back, guys, to Monster Hunter World, and today we're facing up against the Nergigante, which is a monster that was showcased in Monster Hunter World, of course, and it was one of the very few Elder Dragons that they showcased in this game. Now, the Nergigante has tricks up his sleeves, of course. He does have a lot of strong attacks that can potentially kill you, especially one of them being a dive bomb attack. Now, as you can see in this clip, since this is post-commentary, there's one point where I do a Superman dive, which is really crucial against that dive bomb attack. Sometimes I can get it off. It depends on how far away he is from me, so try to make distance with him. And it's also good to have that sheathing skill, which allows you to sheath your weapon much quicker. Also, to note, I am using the Dodogama hunting horn, which is a really good hunting horn to use in this game because it can provide you with attack up, defense up, and health boost and win res negation, which is crucial against monsters like the Kushala de Aura. Now, also, I do provide the team with heals because I love running a heal-based set, if you could call it that. So anytime my teammate is in a tough situation where she or he is low on health, I provide them with heals such as potions, mega potions, even max potions at times in really dire situations, which is really helpful for any situation possible. So it's like I'm doing more than I need to with the hunting horn, but I'm also providing them with the heals, like I said, for the team so they don't die. And in this instance, in this battle, no one dies because I provide them with heals. There was one point where I couldn't provide heal because I was full on health. I wish they could change that factor, but I don't see it changing anytime soon. Also, his habitats range from, because he isn't just only in the Elder Recess, he's also in the Great Ravine, in the Wildspire Waste, but this is a key importance when you fight Nergigante, that he is weak to the Thunder element. So, I don't have a Thunder element weapon with me, so if I wanted to maximize my potential against him, I would run not hunting horn, I would still run the hunting horn, but I'd run Horn Maestro with it, and the any hunting horn that is probably thunder based. So that's another thing you can also take off to make yourself a little bit more of a worthy opponent for the Nergigante. Besides, I also was learning about titles on monsters, especially like, for example, the title on the Lao Shan Lung, which would mean, the title in Japanese would mean Old Mountain Dragon. But for this instance with the Nergigante, his translation is Extinction Dragon because of the fact that he feeds off of Elder Dragons. I don't know particularly how he feeds on them because you really never see it, but apparently that is a thing. Now, through this fight, the Nergigante really is very, like, right there, as you can see. He does love to use that move a lot, especially if you're trying to do counter-based moves by the side of the feet, and he'll use that wing to his advantage and nudge you off and potentially throw you off as well. Now, the Nergigante went to the next area, so I was thinking about preparation. I was gonna pelt the rock over there and see if he would get dropped on it, but he already went away from it, so I was like, there's no point in doing that. Now watch right here as I Superman dive right out of the clear, and Nergigante didn't even leave a scratch on me. Isn't that amazing? As long as you have that, I'm saying if you do have that sheathing skill, you'll be a-okay when you sheath your weapon back when he's about to do that dive bomb. You have little spacing to do it, but you can pull it off. Some people don't know that Superman dive. I guess there's a skill in this game where it like gives you like skill where you do an extra Superman dive. It's like longer or higher or something, which I haven't seen yet and I haven't looked into it, but I'm kind of curious about that. So see how I always usually stay by the legs. and you can say I dodge that attack because I know it's coming. But yeah, I always stay by the legs because going in the front, I know I'm a hunting horn user and I can utilize blunt damage to his head and probably potentially knock him out. I don't really, it's either I do it or I don't, because I feel like the hunting horn doesn't need to do knockout damage constantly, especially against Nergigante, because I'm putting myself into the red and I didn't really want to do that anyways. And besides, I'd say I'm giving good damage overall, even hitting the legs or the stomach or the tail. I usually don't like staying near the tail because it's kind of pointless. I'm not going to break it or anything, so I usually stay by the body where I can do more damage. It's also key to note that that Nergigante, it's one of those blockade monsters for some people. Some people can't even defeat the Nergigante, which is unfortunate. But there is a certain time when Monster Hunter, any Monster Hunter title, has a learning curve. For example, I'd say a learning curve on Try would be the Legaia Cruise or the Devil Joe, because the Devil Joe was a big thing back then in Try. And I'm going to mention Devil Joe. Some people thought on March 9th or March 8th that they would showcase Devil Joe because of the quest. I forgot what it was called. It was the event quest. It was called the Simple Task, and they believed that he would showcase in there because it's happened before where they did showcase the Devil Joe in one of those situations, and he just came out of nowheres. But I had a feeling it wasn't going to come because it was too early to call the update. So I was like, no, it can't be. And sure enough, I was correct. But I don't want to make anyone sad that he didn't come. But it's like I want to say, I told you so, but no. But I gotta say a good job for the people that made speculations on that, because it does make sense that, that they would showcase Devil Joe at that time. So anyways, let's get back right into this. The Nergigante usually fights with one of the Elder Dragons. It's usually Teostra. On the Elder Recess, by the way, it's either Teostra or Kushala Deora. And in this instance, nothing came to be. I don't know why, but sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And usually the Nergigante, I think 100% of the time, the Nergigante wins from what I've seen fighting him. So I could show clips of that as well in there and probably, throw it in just to show you what those fights look like. If not, I probably won't show it. So it's either you see it or you don't. But now the Nergigante is limping away. Now, it's also key to note, when you fight the Nergigante, it is pointless putting up traps. Like, for example, if you want to capture him, you can't. And I learned that the hard way when I was fighting him the first time. I wanted to capture him just to get more, materials off him. And I couldn't. I was like, what the fuck? Because some monsters do have that certain ability where they can't be captured. I think it's, Shugula, Gormagala. I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. I'll just put it up like a title right in there because I actually don't know how to pronounce it. But I know it's Gormagala, but I don't know the second phase of him. What's the first name? But I believe he is also immune to traps. There's certain monsters that are immune to traps, usually like Elder Dragons and such, I assume. So in this instance, he's immune to traps. Also, when he gets into this part, area 15, he can also make a new den area. Once he does that dive bomb attack, he can open up a little bit more room for you to fight in. But it's also key to note that once you get into this area, things will fall from the, I wouldn't say sky, but there is protrusions that fall down on you, so you got to be careful because it will flinch your character and it will leave you vulnerable for the Nergigante to attack you. Now, in this instance, I was kind of like, oh crap, we don't have defense up, and then usually I like to overdo it because I believe in this. I got like 104 heals and buffs on this turn, but because I was healing my team at the time, but I usually like to overdo the defense up so it doesn't run out, but this is the exact reason why I recommend you guys, if you're using a hunting horn, to run Horn Maestro, because it can really help you out. With the point of Horn Maestro is so it lingers the duration time of when your buffs go, like, they stop being in play. Like, for example, like, if you popped an attack up, usually it lasts so long, and then it stops. With hunting with Horn Maestro, it lasts longer. The effect lasts longer, so you have less gambling and finagling to worry about when you're popping buffs and stuff. When I first fought Nergigante, it really got hectic over here. I did a solo on him, of course. I never recorded it, which is unfortunate, but I know for sure I did this, and it gets really hectic in this area because I feel like the reason why I don't like this area is because it's too claustrophobic and it's way too narrow for you in the Nergigante, because he has a lot of, I wouldn't say AoE attacks, but he does have those spikes and he can hit you, so you gotta usually stay by the body at all times, unless he has his wings out and he's doing that certain move where he flops him up. So it's crucial just, you know, to be on edge at this point. And we do kill him. He is dead. He ain't coming back. The nightmare is over. Honestly, some people felt like the Nergigante was overhyped and he didn't live up to the potential, and I kinda agree, but I also digress, because this is definitely not a monster to push over, because this monster is a really good monster for beginners and veterans like I said, because it gives a challenge. It gives a certain slight challenge for the veterans, and the veterans such as myself. I don't like to boast that I am a veteran, but I've been playing this game for so goddamn long that it doesn't faze me. I mean, I played Frontier, you know, all the Japanese imports, and currently I'm playing Monster Hunter Double Cross. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video on me facing up against the mighty foe, the Nergigante. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace.